Hello, you're watching Shalom World News. I'm Katie Asco from Dublin, Ireland, and these are your latest headlines from around the world. In the United States, yet another pro-life establishment has been vandalized. In the latest incident, the Hope Pregnancy Center in Philadelphia was vandalized with graffiti and had 3 glass doors smashed on Saturday, June 11th. According to the director of the pregnancy center, Latrice Booker, the damages are estimated to be about $15,000. In spite of the attack, the clinic remains open for business. Since the US Supreme Court Justice's draft opinion on Dobbs v. Jackson was leaked early last month, the country has witnessed a series of attacks on Catholic churches and pro-life establishments. As many as 17 pregnancy centers, maternity homes and pro-life organizations have been attacked so far. On June 3rd, there was a similar attack in the nation's capital, and 5 days later another occurred in Wisconsin. The upcoming London Ministerial Conference on freedom of religion or belief will discuss the persecution of Christians in Nigeria, Pakistan and Iraq, as well as the crimes committed against Muslims in China and Myanmar. Organisers have said that in the 3 years since the initiative was launched, conditions of minorities have not improved across the world. They also mentioned extremists in India and Sri Lanka, as well as attacks on minorities in Iraq and Afghanistan. According to British human rights advocate Lord Ahmad of Wimbledon, the event in London will witness the participation of over 500 ministers, representatives of government, and leaders of faith communities. Persecution watchdog Open Doors International has released a report on the increasing number of people fleeing their homes primarily due to their faith. The report, titled Refugee Church Report 2022 on Internally Displaced Persons and Refugees, was released on Wednesday, June 15th, ahead of the World Refugee Day on June 20th, and depicts a bleak future for those compelled to flee because of their faith. According to the report, Christians in 58 of the top 76 nations on the World Watch List have been forced to leave their homes because of their religious affinity. The list chronicles countries with high, very high, or extreme levels of Christian persecution. The report further states that nearly half of the internally displaced people are from 5 countries that are also on the list of Christian persecution, namely Syria, Afghanistan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Colombia, and Yemen. Citing the example of Iraq, the report projected the long-term effects of migration, such as altering the face of the country. The Holy See has decreed that a diocesan bishop must procure a written mandate from the Dicastery for Institutes of Consecrated Life and Societies of Apostolic Life before establishing a public institute of the faithful. This new decree was issued by Pope Francis in a rescript on Wednesday. This follows the February 7th meeting with Cardinal Yao Braz de Aziz and Archbishop Jose Rodriguez Carballo, the prefect and secretary of the Dicastery for the Institutes of Consecrated Life and Societies of Apostolic Life. The rescript of the Holy Father came into effect on June 15th and is viewed as being part of the synodality process. This is aimed at promoting closer ties between the offices of the Vatican and individual bishops and enabling mutual listening. The Catholic Secretariat of Nigeria has decried the suggestion by some leaders to have 2 Muslim presidential candidates in the 2023 general election. In a statement, the Secretariat pointed out that at a time when the nation is polarized on religious lines, adopting a Muslim-Muslim approach in the election is insensitive. Citing the crisis and division in the country, the statement also said that an exclusively Muslim ticket would wreak havoc on the predominantly Christian people of South Kaduna and advises political parties toying with divisive agenda to come out with a more inclusive approach ahead of the general election. Finally, the Secretariat appealed to all Nigerians to work for unity. The Holy Father, Pope Francis, has drafted guidelines for the creation of catechumenal itineraries for married life. This is aimed at preparing future couples for the sacrament of matrimony in the hope of avoiding broken families. The new guidelines were released by the Dicastery for Laity, Family and Life on Wednesday. In the preface for the guidelines, the Pontiff wrote that it represents a fruit of Amoris Laetitia family year. He said that the Church in every age is called to proclaim anew the beauty and abundance of grace grace in the sacrament of marriage and the family life flowing from it. The Holy Father said that this document will enable future couples to build their marriage on the bedrock of faith. He warned that many couples receive only superficial premarital preparation and end up with their marriage on weak foundations. The number of abortions performed in the US from 2017 to 2020 has marked an increase, reversing a 3-decade-long downward trend. According to data released on Wednesday by the Guttmacher Institute, there were 862,000 abortions in 2017, while the number went up to 930,000 in 2020. This marks an 8% rise, overturning the declining pattern over the past 30 years. This disturbing find comes in the wake of the imminent Supreme Court verdict that could possibly overturn a nearly 5-decade law legalizing abortion across the nation. Rachel K. Jones, a research scientist who co-authored an analysis of the data for the Guttmacher Institute, stated the long-term decline in abortion is over and the number of abortions in the United States is actually increasing. Increased abortion availability in some states and surge of abortion funds for those with low income are cited as some of the reasons for this rise in the number of abortions. The report further states that the most significant surge in abortions were noticed in the US's West and Midwest. The US Capitol recently witnessed a rally by Christian believers who were formerly part of the same-sex attracted community. During the event on Saturday, the participants shared testimonies of how Christ led them to their freedom and transformed their lives. The event, called the Freedom March, included a rally from Sylvan Theatre to the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., Christian music, testimonies, and prayer. This march was started in 2018 by Jeffrey McCall, a man who formerly suffered with gender dysphoria and came to encounter Christ and renounce his ways. Freedom March has been touring various American states, sharing the good news and offering hope to people who wish to renounce this lifestyle. McCall said that he is amazed to see how the march has grown. Freedom March will be conducting a second event on October 29th at Piedmont Park in Atlanta, Georgia. A Catholic priest has been found murdered in the East African nation of Tanzania. The body of Father Michael Sampson was found dissected on the bank of the Meta River on June 11th. It is believed that he was killed on the previous day. Father Michael was a member of the Missionaries of Africa, also known as the White Fathers. Originally from Malawi, Father Sampson served in Tanzania in the Archdiocese of Mbeya and went missing on June 10th. The Archdiocese of Mbeya said they do not know under what circumstances Father Sampson was killed, but that the priest was probably shot in the head and his body later dissected. The prelate said it was not a witchcraft ritual, as no body parts have gone missing. Those are your latest headlines. Do join us tomorrow and visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.